Hi, this is Curtis McCullum with the Curtis McCullum Show. And today I tell you, this young lady I met a few weeks ago now, and we attempted to make this podcast, but I guess the universe says, no, you're not done with her yet. You got to bring her back in here. So here we are again. She's a wonderful young lady. Not only that, she's a great CEO and entrepreneur, and she knows her stuff. And what she has to offer, especially for women, not just women, but for everybody, just something that can take you to the next step. As you well know, I talk to CEOs and founders and entrepreneurs who can make an impact in the world. And I'm telling you, she touched my heart. She doesn't even know it yet, but she's going to always be a friend of mine because she brings out the best in me.
Oh,
So today I have with me Donna Reid. She's the CEO and founder of Reid Elite Capital. Welcome to the show again, Donna.
oh, thank you, Curtis. That was so sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, I believe we're going to be friends for life on this one. Yeah,
It's just the way it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
when you find people that you like and find people that you can meet mentally and spiritually on a higher level, those types of relationships you just can't just throw away. You got to cultivate
Absolutely.
them and continue to move forward. But so welcome again to the show.
Thanks.
And as I said, I do really appreciate you, and I appreciate your story, and I can't wait for the world to kind of know a little bit more about you. Not only that, if they need your help and your support, you're going to be there to kind of really guide them through that. So just tell them a little bit about
Absolutely.
who you are and what are you doing now.
Well, I'm right now. I'll just start real quick and just get through it. But what happened is that my name is Donna Reid. Right now, I'm working towards becoming more financially free. I started about 22 decades ago with real estate. I went to the courthouse steps when I finished college thinking, oh, great, I could buy a property and I'm going to be really, really good at it. Nope. Forgot you got to get some money with you. You can't just go and buy a house like that, right? So, with that bug, it just stirred me so much because I was like, there got to be something different out there. You just can't go to 9 to 5. At the time I was in college and I was working at Wall Street as internship. And I'm like, no way. It can't just be 9 to 5, a cubicle, and I go home and that's it. It got to be more to life. So that's when I started thinking, oh my gosh, real estate could be my freedom. And I lived in London after I got married, and I lived there for 5 years. I had my first child there, and what did I do? Real estate because I loved it so much. I went to auctions. I couldn't take anyone with me because they couldn't see they didn't see my vision. So
Mm.
anyway, ended up buying something in London, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, it need fixing, but yet still, the thing about real estate, even if I'm in London or New York, I still am able to do that. So for over two decades, I did what I was an agent, and becoming an agent was absolutely amazing because I was able to help so many people and change their lives, let them know that they could build wealth through real estate. And from that, right now, what I'm working towards more of is creating more financial freedom for anyone that is out there that really needs and know that you don't have to be stuck. There is another option out there. So I created Reid Elite Capital, and with that, I invest in multifamilies and other assets that will build generational wealth.
Generation wealth, especially among just African Americans. That's one group, but obviously everybody wants to build generational wealth. But among African Americans, it's kind of one of those things that is not as popular as it should be. Correct?
Correct. But I think what it is just we have it, we just don't know how to use it. We have it, but we
Mm.
don't know how to make it become more of for the other generation. So with our generation, with my generation, it's more like, okay, you get a paycheck, you buy a house, and when you pass away, the house go with them. That's if you could buy a house, because
Right.
there's so much programs out there that you could purchase a home. So if you just start, And I think it's the fear that they have in them, oh my gosh, and the credit and
Right.
so much bags that we tend to bring on to ourselves. But I mean, if you take that one step at a time, get a mentor, get education. Don't just sit on the sideline think it can't happen. It can. And that is the power of believing, the power and the confidence that you'll have in yourself to know, you know what? I could do it. It mean my brother or my friends may not be able to do it, but you can do it. And it's just having that so determined mind and changing your mindset. That's what creates that. And that's what makes it so beautiful to know that there are options out there. But if you don't investigate, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't see anyone around you like you
Right.
doing it, you're stuck. You feel stuck. You feel like it can't happen, but it really, really could.
You talked about a lot there. I mean, obviously, I'm a mindset coach, and so when you said
Mhm.
mindset, my antennas and all that stuff start to go up. Like, oh my god, we're talking about mindset, and kind of shifting the gears a little bit because turning back to your mindset. I mean, you didn't have a straight path to where you are now. There were some turns and ups and downs, and share that with the audience, a kind of your journey in that way.
So when I was a realtor, I first started part-time and I was working as a case manager, getting home care services for seniors. And I love doing that, but yet still there was some part of me was like, whoa, it was an avenue that created for me. I could be home at 3 o'clock with the girls,
Right.
somewhat, right? But the other thing is that I had 3 jobs with
Wow.
my daughters at that time. I had the real estate, I did catering, and then I had case management. And with all of that, I never stopped. Why? Because I knew there had to be a way out. It would just could not stay there. I mean, it's incredible to think that, going through, I had cancer at that time as well. And I would go home, sleep it off. And then, oh, did you go show that house? Or my my friends were so supportive, and they were there for me. But not only that, my clients understood, so they were walking that journey when I was taking chemo as well, because I had chemo for 12 weeks plus I had
Wow.
another treatment for a year. With that, with all my jobs still, yes, they understood, but yet still I still had to keep it going. And having the support, my family and my friends and my daughters, yeah, that was an incredible journey. But you know what? I feel like you cannot tell somebody your story and until you really experience it and you could share with them. And you could say, you know what? You don't have to stay there. You could come out on the other side. But you
Right.
have to believe that there is a long run. It's going to maybe take some time, but believe you me, you're going to get there.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of things you mentioned. Number one is, I think people need to understand you had a support group
Mhm.
that surrounded you to help and support you during that time in your life. And number two is that people don't get this. I think they miss it. Is that when you're so focused on who you want to become, and you have passion for what you want, people, events, and situations start to kind of converge together in order for you to get there, right? And so even doing your cancer, even doing all of those things, because of your mindset, because of your passion, you had a lot of other people kind of brought into your vision and help and support you there. So I know the biggest thing for me, and one of the biggest takeaways, is that your passion. I
Oh,
know.
thanks. Thank you. When I'm doing my social media, they say, "Oh my gosh, Nana," but I don't even realize that because I feel like it comes when you speak from your heart, it just comes from your heart. And I
Ah,
think when you just not sugarcoat things and just tell what it really is, sometimes, I can't even get on a camera if I'm down. So I have to make sure that I'm okay on the inside so I can show on the outside. And that makes all the difference. But I think when it comes down to having the support, having the love, but it's not even about that. It's just having that on the inside too for you, and sometimes one word will do it, or one book will change your whole aspect of what you believe in. And whatever it is, you have to find that strength from within. And without God, I wouldn't be here. So that is just number one in my life. And that's
Right.
what kept me going definitely throughout this time.
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that. Obviously, a little bit about me. I was born
Hmm.
and raised in Mississippi, and in a Christian family, and God was the focus of our life, and the power that He kind of holds. For me, it's a higher power, meaning like sometimes you need something bigger than you to kind of draw from. You need the spiritual power, the
Absolutely.
spiritual being. And so I definitely understand, and that speaks my language, because I understand that for some people, just for audience to understand, God is a label. I mean, so whatever that is for you, I mean, whatever that source is for you, whatever that energy is for you, don't be offended. Just knowing that the label that I've used and Donna might be using is God. It might be the universe for you, whatever it is that you draw from to get that extra oomph to make it to the next day. And I love the fact that you talked about when you speak from the heart, the authentic self, it shows from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when it comes to business as well, that's another thing too. When you're looking to be in front of somebody and you're saying to them, I want to be able to sell your house, but you'll find another person said, yeah, I'm selling it for 100,000 more than what it's
Right.
really worth. Who do you really
Mhm.
want? And you may not see that in the industry or whatever it is, but the most important thing, you have to know that person is being true to you and communicating to you what you're looking for, bringing you to that destination. In my business right now, what I look at is those three potent words is elevate your freedom and impact. Elevate you as an individual. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? How can you elevate yourself to make it happen? Freedom, creating that financial freedom for you so that you'll be able to live the life that you deserve. And the number other one is impact. Creating that impact. So it's not about you, but it's the other person you're talking to, the other person you're influencing, the other person that you're going to say, I could help you impacting the world. And that's what it's all about. When you come together and you put those all together, it's not only you, but it's also the people that have brought you there, the people that have said, you know what, you could do it in the time that you think you couldn't do it. That is amazing. So if somebody created that for you, that's where you come in and you go and impact the world. Yeah, when you look at the world is so big, but if you could just impact one person, that would make
Right.
a huge difference.
Right. When I look at the world, I mean, because that's part of what my job is, to have impact,
Mhm.
right? But the whole idea is that I don't have to impact everybody, but I can impact the people who come in contact with me. That's my
Absolutely.
world. And sometimes we get tripped up because we said we want to make changes for the world. Well, just make the change with the person across from you first, and then hopefully when you plant that seed and they can make an impact on someone else. And now you, because of your kindness, because you elevate, because you find that freedom, and because you have that impact, they are doing the same. And so you now are, you definitely impacting the world for sure. Now, not
Oh,
only yeah, I mean, that's pretty powerful.
thank
So
you.
so in the future, if you should hear elevate, freedom, and impact, I'm gonna give you credit for a couple of times, Donna, and after a while I'm gonna forget your name, and then I just take it from
Take it for yourself. That's all good. That's all good. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. We share each other. We share with each
just take it from myself. But
other.
I think one of your biggest traits, we talked a little bit about it, is your power to connect.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that attending conferences, meeting people. Also, one of my thing is that I want to be different. And I was like, there's got to be something different. Being
Right.
a realtor, just being a broker, there's just not enough. So
Right.
I decided to become more of that as a realtor, and I travel international real estate with two designation with CIPS, Certified International Property Specialist. And with that, I was able to reach out to other people that I've met, like me. When we went to India, there those people are become my best friends right now. And that's been over, wow, 10 years now, more, maybe more. And we travel, we go to Dubai. We recently came back from Saudi Arabia in December. But right now, when you look at knowing what your client networking for me is helping the other person. It's not about me saying, "Oh,
Mm.
hi, what could you do for me?" No, I take it
Right.
from another aspect, and I said, "Okay, I met Harry. Harry wants to buy a house, or Harry wants to invest in multifamily, or Harry wants to do something different with his funds." Okay, I may find Sally on the next side of the room that is where Larry lives. And maybe Larry wants to only invest in that area in Colorado. So I connect them together because I think when you go to conferences and when you meet people, the most important thing is that, and you walk away and you remember, oh, I remember that girl. You
Hmm.
get so many cards, you get so many things, but you're going to remember that one that connected you to what you were looking for, taking you to your destination.
No,
And
I
that's what
love
I
that.
wanted to do.
I love it. I think you mentioned before is that I think the Zig Ziglar quote,
Oh,
you can get
yeah.
everything you can get everything you want in life if you help enough
Help
other
other
people get
people.
what they want. And that's kind of what you're
Absolutely.
saying is that my networking is not about me, it's about you. If I'm helping you get what you want, and then the more seed that I'm planting out there, it's going to come back to you. I mean, several fold, just the way it
Without a
works.
doubt.
Yeah.
Without a
So
doubt.
yeah. So you definitely, I know you talked about that power of of that quote of Zig Ziglar, of doing that. So what are some of the other things now you've have to overcome, Donna? I mean,
I think now is right now is looking into my business and see how much more can I grow. Where can I
okay.
help my clients? They're looking at different asset classes, so I'm more into finding assets that would allocate to them the funds and the returns that they're looking for, so that they could build wealth along the way and create that financial freedom. That's if they want, because a lot of people would say, yeah, I love my job. I'm a doctor. I don't want to give that up. And you don't have to. You could become a passive investor where you could still build wealth, finish up your career, do what you like to do, and still build wealth with your passive investments. So we're looking for different avenues of how we could help those individuals that love their job, and the ones that, oh no, I'm burned out, don't want no more. I want to create passive income, but yet still travel and do other things. We
Right.
need to just assess where our clients are and where they want to go next. And we want to help them along the way. So for us right now, is just looking at different asset classes, of how we could help them get to where they want. But the most important thing is finding their destination. So you'll find me having individual calls to find out what my investors are looking for. And
Okay.
then I go back and give them the feedback of how I'm be able to get that for them. And it may takes a while, but whatever it is, I'm still have to communicate with them and let them know, you know what? I'm going above and beyond to get you to where you want to go.
I mean that's great. I mean that's a internal challenge, but it's something that's definitely needed. What you're telling me then is that one of the things, and all entrepreneurs kind of take note of this, is that you try to understand your client.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
That's so important because without them I wouldn't be here. And that
right,
that shoves me and tells me, you know what? You're able to do what you said. Did you say you were going to help me? Well, that's what
right,
you're supposed to do in the end.
right, right, right.
If I made my business about me, I would not be here. So when you make it about them, and what they want, and you could show them how to get to point A to point B, they're going to stay with you for a while. So my situation, even with my real estate business, when I was, when I'm a realtor, I also
Right.
look at, what, it's not about that one house I'm going to sell you or buy you. No, I'll take you from that one house. Next year we're going to look, can you invest in order to get another house? Right?
Okay.
Because that's what's all about, building, because you're only going to build from that one house. But if you look and you start stashing it and figuring out other ways, other means to acquire another one so it could pay for the mortgage, they will remember you
Well,
without a doubt.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Just,
absolutely.
I think you said earlier today. I mean, earlier in the podcast is that that's kind of what your goal is, to be remembered, not just for it's be remembered for what you are doing for them, and
Yeah.
not just or not what you're taking from them. It's like,
Yeah,
what can I do for
exactly.
you?
What
You
can
do
I
that in
do
your
for you?
networking. What can I do for you? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
powerful way to live. So
Hmm.
so now how did you, kind of going back a little bit? How did you juggle all of this? Now you have two girls, right? Or three?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're
So how do
much
you
older
juggle all
now.
of this stuff? I mean, right? Yeah. I mean, can't be too much older because you're a young lady yourself. So
I
come on
wish,
now.
I wish, I wish. Oh, flattery will get you everywhere, Curtis.
so so
No.
so so when you, so because obviously somebody's always going to be that person who handles the house and do all these things. It could be a man or a woman, doesn't really matter. But in your situation, it was you. How did you manage all of that stuff in growing a business?
I honestly don't know how. I honestly, if I say to you how it happened, you know what? With God and my faith, it was one step at a time.
Well, there you
And
go.
when there were days that I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to do it. It's not going to work out. I just trust him, and knowing that he had my back. Every step that I take, it was, oh man, I went through some hard knocks and hard tar. It was really difficult at some times, but I knew that I was never alone in the situation. God was there with me, and he was like, don't worry. When you're at the lowest point, he'll bring that one person to help you to get to the next level. And with that, I knew it was him. It was only God that brought me through that. Yeah, the girls were there, and it was all about academics for me, because I was like, academically, you're you could be able to get push past other avenues, that
Hmm.
I couldn't. So that's what I enforced with them, and they excelled, thank God, through that. One is a doctor, a psychiatrist, and one is completed her master's in sustainability. But whatever it is, it's not about that. It's about them as a human being, becoming a human being that could help others. That was my
Right.
takeaway. Yeah, they could have all accolades or anything like that, but how are you as an individual to help the other person when they're down? And sometimes we do forget about ourselves. So yeah, we need to take note of ourselves and build ourselves up when we can.
Wow. Going back to, I think something you said important that a lot of people can actually take note in is that I asked you the first time I asked you the question, you said, "Well, I don't know." And then once you kind of settled in a little bit, you said, "You know what? What I did was I took one step at a time.
Hmm.
Just took that one action and got some results." And I know I've been through that point in my life too, where I didn't know, you know, I didn't know I didn't have enough money. I remember one time in my life, I had, I think, $10 in my checking account, and I needed gas and couldn't get it out because of they only accepted something. And so like, and all of a sudden something almost fell in my lap. I remember I got a check from a commission that I had sold something months or years ago. I had changed my address and it still found me. And it was just enough for me to take the next step. So that trusting that you will have the next step and trusting the next step. And then for you, you kind of tapped into that higher power, knowing that there was something greater out there than you to kind of help you through that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
I'll tell you a quick story what happened, and I just remembered it too. I remember working the 3 jobs, right? And I
right,
still couldn't make ends meet. I didn't even realize it until I was serving somebody else. So at my church, we have like Thanksgiving where we give out baskets and things like
right.
that. Oh my God, I didn't realize I needed a turkey. I needed a head. I honest, and it stunned me when I remembered it. I didn't even realize I was the one in need. So I'm giving out, and I didn't realize at the end of it, they said, "Oh, Johnny, you want to take one home?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was like, oh, I didn't even have one at home. And every day I think about that. I was like, how incredible that could be because I didn't even think, oh my God, how can I serve somebody and I don't even have to give? But I
Wow.
didn't even think about that. And it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I was catering and what I was catering and left over, that was my meal. And I
Right.
remember when, during after the divorce, when somebody said to me, "Is that all you make?" When I told them that was $23,000 a year, they were like, "Oh,
Right.
a year?" And I was like, "Yeah, but look at me now."
Yeah. Look at you now. Look at you now.
But
Wow.
I
That's
just say that it's not to brag or anything, but it's to say that you don't have to stay where you are. God has a
yes.
way of doing things you would never even think of.
Wow. I mean, and that's so true. I mean, it's interesting that uh, in the midst of feeding others,
Yes.
not thinking about yourself, and all of a sudden it's like, Donna, you know what? I need a
You need
turkey
a
in here for
turkey.
myself.
You forgot to get the turkey. You
You
need a
forgot to
turkey
get the
and a
turkey
half to
because
take home.
because you wasn't focusing on you, Donna. You was focusing on someone else, and that's what it's all
Oh, that was
about. I
funny.
mean, you live with that principle. So what's last thing that you can actually share with the audience, or you want to share with them before we end this particular podcast, Donna?
Remember you.
Wow.
Remember you. When you're going through and not even going through, just remember to take time out. One of the things I think, as independent contractors that we work at and we help others or whatever, we forget about ourselves. We don't take the time out to whatever it is. If it's to get your nails done, it's to get your hair done. If it's to go to play golf, or is it just to watch a movie or to read a really good book? Just take time out for yourself and make sure that you are okay in what you're doing, because sometimes you'll say you're okay but your
Okay.
face don't look like you're okay. And that's because the inside really speaks on the outside. You
Right.
need to be okay and you will be okay. So creating that positive energy, knowing that it's going to be okay. And knowing that once you take time out for yourself and get to so you could get to the next point, don't drain yourself for others, but remember you first. And you're going to see that everything is going to fall in place just like you like it.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things the first thing they tell you when you get on the airplane is, okay,
Yeah.
if we lose oxygen, don't put the other person's mask on first. Put yours on first, so that now you can help someone else to get to the next step. So basically, by remembering you and by continuing to infuel yourself, putting in fuel and making you who you're supposed to be, it's easier for you to help somebody else and do that. I like that, Donna. Remember you, remember yourself, take out time for yourself to actually, help somebody else to do what they do. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you want to let people know how they can contact you, Donna?
Oh, yeah. I could be reached on LinkedIn and also Twitter, X, and also IG, Facebook. But you could find me on Donna Sells New York, and I'll be there. And I'm sure in the show notes, you'll see everything down below. But
And
thank you
you will.
guys so much. And thank you, Curtis. I had a blast, as always. And I'm sure we're going to be buddies forever now.
Yes, yes, we are. Yes, we are. I tell you,
And I'll connect you with
absolutely.
anyone. Yeah. And I'll
There you
connect
go.
you with
There you
anyone
go.
you need.
There you go. There you go. See, so you're a connector. That's what it's all about. We both live by that philosophy. You can get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. So I'm always a helper. I'm always, whatever I can do to help and support individuals, because I know, number one, I know where I've been,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a time where I needed help and I needed support, and individuals came to the rescue. And there's been so many
Mm.
angels that have come in my life, come in and out of my life. They come in for a season, for a moment when I need them most, and then all of a sudden they're gone again. And it's like, what happened to that person? Because God, the universe, or whatever, sent them for me for that moment, that time, in order for me to go to the next step. And I think, and once again, God, the universe has brought us together, Donna. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they brought us together for purpose. And I'm so appreciative of who you are, what you stand for, your history, and all the things that you've done and will continue to do. Uh,
Oh, thank you. And it
yes,
was a pleasure to meet you as well. I appreciate that so much.
yes, 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 yes. Once again, guys, my name is Curtis McCullum with the Curtis McCullum Show, sponsored by Bespoke Human Potential Coaching. Always remember, remember you, and also remember to learn, grow, and expand and transform, and make it a great day.